Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Miami GP was an absolute war zone. A weekend where drama wasn't just on track, it was in the radios, in the garages, and probably in the FIA's incident report folder. Let's set the scene. Oscar Piastri, cruising on that championship high, while Lando and Max were stuck playing catch-up like they owed him money. But oh no, this wasn't just a race. It was a soap opera. The sprint race, pure chaos. Turn 1, Kimi Antonelli goes for a gap. Oscar says no and shoves him off like an unpaid valet. Oscar's team trying to play it cool, and the stewards reaching for their penalty stamps like it's Black Friday. And that was just the sprint. While Ferrari's engineers argued over whether to use softs or mediums like it was a divorce settlement. But the main race, oh, this is where the real drama went down. Picture this. Lewis Hamilton, mid-race, fighting his engineers like they just suggested he pit for hards in a downpour. The radio was spicier than a Miami taco. No! Swap the cars now! Meanwhile, Ferrari's garage was in full civil war mode. Leclerc demanding answers, and through it all, Max Verstappen defending against both McLarens like a man possessed, Lando Norris trying to prove he's still top dog, and Oscar Piastri, silent but deadly, collecting points like a Vegas card counter. In this video, we're breaking down every gloriously messy moment. The Kimi versus Oscar sprint race shunt that had social media exploding, Ferrari's strategy meeting, Archie screaming match, Lewis's radio rage becoming instant meme gold, Max how to defend like a villain tutorial, and why Miami proved, yet again, that F1 is the wildest sport on earth. Was supposed to be the calm before the storm, but what we got was a full meme festival, with chaos levels peaking like it's 2021 all over again. I don't even know where to start, but let's roll it back to the moment where legends literally walked into frame. Not to be outdone, our favorite grinning Brit, Lando Norris, the McLaren was dancing on the edge of disaster so many times it felt like the car wanted to go rallying instead of racing. Honestly, it's a miracle he didn't bin it. Someone get that car a leash. And just when things couldn't get messier, Oliver Bearman decided to go full send and ended up in the wall, triggering a red flag that stopped the session. The guy who subbed in for Ferrari and became everyone's favorite underdog last time. Yeah, this time the track bit back. One mistake and boom, session over. But don't worry, Carlos Sainz brought some balance. While everyone else was testing the limits of physics, my guy was out there cycling. No, not cycling the car, literally cycling. He brought his bike to the paddock like it's Tour de France time. I mean, you gotta respect the dedication to cardio. But also, what's going on? Was he trying to race to pole on 2 wheels instead of 4? Sprint weekends are already chaos, but Miami decided to dial it up to full-blown Netflix special levels. The sprint quali and sprint race, literal curveballs left and right. Forget strategy, this was just survival of the meanest. Starting with sprint quali and SQ1 was already a war zone. Yuki Tsunoda somehow managed to miss the checkered flag because he was too busy playing traffic controller for Lance and Max. Like bro, we love the team player energy, but maybe next time, don't give up your lap just to play the F1 version of SimCity. Max even pulled into the pits early. He wasn't even going again. Absolute clownery. Meanwhile, both racing bulls barely crawled through, and Jack Doohan, brutal, out in SQ1 and raging on the radio. You can feel the stress radiating off him. The man knows Franco Colapinto's got one eye on his seat and the other on his LinkedIn bio saying F1 driver. Doohan, Ollie and Yuki all missed their second push laps entirely, while Max decided to park it mid-line at turn 17 just as Lance was about to go for his flying lap. Honda sees too, and it's deja vu because Lawson gets the boot again, while Hadjar somehow keeps slipping through like a racetrack magician. Sainz still struggling, honestly at this point, and Alex Albon, man, out-qualifies Carlos again, quietly being one of the most underrated drivers out there. And then XQ3, oh boy, George drops a banger, 0.279 seconds faster than Max. Kimi Antonelli, the Italian rookie, said, let me just rewrite history real quick, and threw down a 1 minute 26 seconds and 482. Not just beat Max, but both McLarens and George too, by 3/10. He becomes the youngest pole sitter in F1 history across any format. Mercedes' third ever sprint pole and a brand new Miami track record. But the sprint race, pure absolute madness from the second the lights went on. Actually, before that, because Charles Leclerc crashed on the formation lap. Yeah, he was out before even starting. Ferrari bingo is just off the charts this season. Then poor Kimi, from pole to P4 by turn 3. Oscar gave him the friendly Miami welcome by pushing him off track. No further investigation, of course, just classic rookie treatment from the veterans. Lap 4 and 5 had a spicy little Ocon vs Sainz scuffle, and then Liam Lawson casually radioed in like, guys, my visor's leaking water. Not something you want to hear mid-race unless you're planning to drift through turn 6 with a fish in your helmet. And then the Sainz saga continues. Lap 12 makes contact and gets a puncture. Race over, that's it. That's the story. Max dives into the pits and collides with Kimi, breaks his own front wing and ruins Kimi's stop. Boom, 10-second penalty. Max from P2 to pain, but guess who's climbing up the order like a stealth boss? Sir Lewis Hamilton sails past Max, slides into P3, and suddenly Fernando Alonso crashes out on lap 15 while fighting Liam Lawson. Safety car deployed. Lando Norris is in the lead again under a safety car. I swear this guy has a magnet for yellow flags and free positions. Drops all the way down to P17. His sprint basically became an elaborate tire test. Sprint weekend in Miami, absolute chaos. Memes flying, rookies thriving, Ferrari imploding, and Max colliding. And we still haven't even touched the main race yet. Buckle up. Quali in Miami was like F1's version of the Hunger Games. Tribute after tribute getting eliminated. Q1 started spicy with both Aston Martins bowing out. Yeah, Fernando and Lance both gone. Apparently the green team packed up early for some beach time. But Yuki, my guy, survived Q1. Never let the memes distract you. Yuki's cooking. Then in Q2, the heartbreak continues. Lewis Hamilton gets knocked out. Like, bruh. Meanwhile, both racing bulls crash out of Q2 as well. And then Q3, straight fire. Max Verstappen, as always, snatches pole, like he just showed up and said, this is mine now. But behind him, it's Lando Norris. Man's on a streak this weekend. And then, hold your breath, Kimi Antonelli qualifies P3, rookie season, out-qualifying George Russell and slotting in right behind a McLaren and Max Verstappen. What a beast. Russell's probably rereading his setup notes, wondering what dimension he entered. Oh, did I mention Yuki made it into Q3? Man's leveling up like it's a shonen anime arc. What a session. Miami Grand Prix was pure drama, chaos, and McLaren dominance, with a generous side of tears on the radio. Lights out, and Max Verstappen gets a clean start, but bro locks up into turn 1 like his Lando Norris, smelling blood in the water, goes for the lunge, but Max defends like his life depends on it. Elbows out, no prisoners, and the stewards hit us with the classic no further investigation. Pump racing or Verstappen privilege? Meanwhile, Kimi Antonelli jumps from P3 to P2 like he's been in F1 for years. But Lando? Oh, he goes from P2 to P6 and starts crying on the radio like someone just unplugged his sim rig mid-race. And speaking of chaos, Liam Lawson and Jack Doohan both get into turn 1 bumper cars. Doohan gets wrecked, and boom, lap 2, virtual safety car. Max is busy fending off Oscar like it's a boss fight, but by lap 14, Oscar says enough and sends it past Max cleanly. Then comes the Lando vs Max saga. Lap 15, wheel to wheel into turn 1, both go off track like it's a Forte lobby. Max gets the place back at turn 17, but Lando is not done. Lap 18, Lando pulls a majestic turn 11 overtake, finally clears Max for good. The gap to Oscar? 9 seconds. And yes, Oscar's just chilling in P1. Meanwhile, Hamilton's battling Ocon for P10, like we're back in 2017, and just when you think it's calming down, Ollie Bearman's engine gives up. Another DNF, and guess who benefits? George Russell. Pits under VSC, comes out ahead of Max on fresh mediums. Mercedes playing 4D chess for once. We get to the Ferrari boys versus Carlos versus Hamilton moment. 3 wide chaos, almost leads to another. Through goes Hamilton classic, but Ferrari's still Ferrariing. And finally, the checkered flag. Oscar Piastri wins again. That's 4 wins in 6 races. Oscar is now the first McLaren driver since 1978 to win 3 Grand Prix in a row. Oscar now has more wins than Lando. That silence you hear? It's Zach Brown updating his driver priorities. Miami is in the books, and now we head to the holy land of Formula 1. Oscar needs to keep his cool though. 4 wins already, but Imola's no joke. It's a strong track for Max and Lando too. If McLaren can keep that pace up, and Max brings out the Imola demon form, then we've got a 3-way slugfest incoming. So buckle up, grab your pasta, and charge those strategy memes. Italy's about to give us drama, chaos, and maybe a Ferrari miracle. Or another Ferrari strategy disaster, we'll see.